So there's a lot of things they felt, something is not good.
Yeah. Mamosa, let's pause that right now. I mean, when you think back, what comes into your mind in terms of the danger that you could have been? You know, you could have been trafficked.
I would have been killed and trafficked, everything.
And how did that make you feel when you think about it? Let's pause what happened, but after the aftermath of it, thinking about what you've survived, the unknown. How did it make you feel,
Mm-mm.
man?
And that thought came maybe after, let's say months, because when the awareness came in, like when the light bulb suddenly switched,
Yeah.
it was more of, what can I say? I need to do everything I can sort of to survive. It was about, hey, I've got this debt. The banks are calling. I was not allowed to call back the banks. I had
Yeah.
ignored the banks and everything. What do we do now? What's the next step? So it was very much of that, like sorting out, like, hey, I need to sort out this house that's burned down now. And then I went for counseling.
Okay.
And then in that moment when I went for counseling, that's when I guess I started to now process the thoughts, the feeling. And it was like, yay, yay,
Sure.
So if didn't have counseling, professional counseling from friends
Yeah.
and family, I think I would have died from depression, or something.
Sure. I'm kind of thinking about it now. I'm like, your life was actually quite in danger because if, number one, you're isolated by your loved ones, right? From your
Mm.
loved ones, you're isolated from them, away from them. You're also taken away from people who speak sense to you. It was going to be easy for them to drug you and just take you away, man, and human trafficked. But also, the friends and the family that he's from his side, were they like, did they know everything about him? Did it, like, I'm trying to understand the syndicate, how it works.
I believe they were part of this whole syndicate because when I found out, I called him
Yeah.
firsthand, like, yeah, you know what, Uchoke, you've been scamming me and everything. He got upset over the phone.
Okay.
That was the last time I spoke to him because I couldn't reach a hold of him.
Okay.
His house where he stayed at, empty.
Yo.
Like empty, like they moved out. The so-called family friends gone.
Haibo.
Like no trace of the whole syndicate family. Kore, that uncle, that friend, that homeboy, that auntie, Kore, gone.
Mamosa, what are you saying? Like
They were
nothing,
all
no
part
trace.
of the syndicate. Kore, these people set up in such a way that like the life looks real. Like you say, the social media pages would look real, right?
Yeah.
And the actual life would look real. Like with real family and friends and the setup. And then when they are caught, they all disappear. That's when you know this was a syndicate. Disappeared.
Yo.
Till
Mamosa.
today, I don't know where they're at. I don't even, this day, I would say, I don't even know if the names on his passport were his real names, which I do not believe. I believe everything is fake. His car had clamped number plates, and I've never questioned that, at all, at all. That's how trusting I was. So things like that, like when you come to think of it later, like why was his number plate clamped? you know
Sure.
Also things like if he's got money, as he presented himself as he's got businesses,
Yeah.
why is he renting this house? So you got to ask yourself a lot of questions after that.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, now that you're saying it's a Christian dating app and all of these things, have you guys been to church together? Have you guys been on in a social gathering where it's like church? And was it like real church? Like as in like, was he legit? Was he saying the right prayers? Was he fumbling there? Like begunjani? Was it like real?
Oh yeah, so I've been to his church, right? I prayers, the real prayers. Bible, he would Bible study you. Huh.
Wow, what was that? Real prayers. Yeah. Mom was,
Those was That was legit. But when I came to think of it afterwards, okay, if you're a Christian
Yeah.
and you've been at X church for so many years, as you say you have been,
Yeah.
man, one, no matter how big the church is, it should be someone when you walk in, there's at least five Inyana people that will be like, hey, Tepo, you
Yeah.
know?
They recognize you.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and two, it should be you should have served in some of the departments or are serving in a department at church.
Yes.
Yeah, nah, he didn't have those two things. When we walked in as strangers, nobody said hi. He didn't serve in any of the departments, but he knew everything about the church. If you asked anything about the church, yeah, he knew, you know. So yeah, that I picked up later.
I'm
And
shocked.
before I didn't
I'm shocked.
think,
Sure. Mamosa.
yeah, deception is meant to be real. And I don't want anyone to blame themselves who's been through this experience, you know? Like I said before, to say love has a price tag according to this world, but it shouldn't be like that. Because by nature, one should be vulnerable in the sense that, you're able to freely greet people or talk
Yeah.
to people,
Yeah.
but the world in which we lived in has
It's
made
messed up.
us to say no, you can't be vulnerable, you can't display kindness, because if you do, this will happen to you, so I want people to forgive themselves who have been through this could have happened to anyone. After my experience, I learned that people who are in the accounting industry have been scammed.
Yo.
People you think, no, I never. You be scammed because of the industry you are in. So it's people who've got qualifications have been through this,
Yeah.
people who are really meticulous, have been through this. So older people, younger people, different races. And so never blame yourself to say, why did I not? Or why did it happen to me? This can really happen to anyone, male or female.
Yo, we've got a text here. This one says, "Hi Mamosa, can I just find out which nationality was he from?"
Okay, so on his passport, he was Kenyan. And his English was, what can I say? It wasn't really Kenyanish-ish.
Yeah.
And then he would back it to say he's got sort of half of his family or maternal side is sort of Congolese, Kenyanish vibe and all. My friends and sister believe it's possible that he was Nigerian and maybe would have, worked on his accent. So I wouldn't know which nationality, but the one he said and spoke the Kenyan language, he said is Kenyan.
We've got another text here saying, "Hi Tapo, please keep me anonymous. I just want to know how far did they go with the relationship, because I was scammed into marriage and he took everything after that."
So we didn't get to the marriage part of things. We were still in that stage of, hey, I need to go and meet your family now, and
Okay.
my family is writing a letter to come and meet with your family. So we were at that stage.
So he never met your family?
He never met my family. He was very scared of my sister.
Why? What happened? Was there an incident?
I get my sister was one of the people who were very wise in this and a positive voice for me, as well
Yeah.
as my friend from church. So he didn't want to, anything that brings me closer to them, but rather take me away from them. But he was willing, him and his family, to write a letter to my family, my mother, but I'm not willing to meet the sister who's here in Joburg with us.
So, Mamosa, what would have happened? Let's think about it. Let's like, okay, you didn't finally get through the spell, because I can tell you now for free, you were under a spell.
Yeah.
I can tell you now for free, you were under a spell.
Yes. Yes.
What would have happened if this guy wrote a letter and actually paid malobolo? Do you think you were going to go that far to actually get married?
I think since I was under that spell, I think if my parents or family said no, I was going to elope with him.
Yo!
Like, Tepa, I was so fucking caught to this guy. Like I said, it was at a point whereby I didn't suspect how he's separating me from my loved ones because I had this thing of I'm bonding with my new love, my new family and
Yeah.
friends, that he had picked for me. So for me, I really do believe that I would have done that, and which is something that I wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've just joined us, we're having a conversation with Mamosa. Met a guy on a Christian dating app. He goes to church, met his side of the family, met his friends. He prays, he does all the right things, goes to church, knows how to treat a woman right. Only thing is that he had bad intentions, and also which Mamusa is gonna come back, knew how to treat a woman. Oh, with Mamusa, you have to come back for that one. That one we are going to have to talk about it here.
Yes.
You have to come back.
Yes.
It's very interesting. Now we're getting into the whole. How did you find out? No man, oh brothers la young scam. How did you find out? What? When was the light? And hopefully also tell us how did you snap out of the spell?
Yo, how I found out is in the weirdest form,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
in the sense that it was December after Christmas or somewhere there, and then ENCA usually runs these shows on be careful of the festive season,
Yeah.
high risk season and everything.
Yeah.
So now there are these women, different age groups, races, and all. They're sharing their stories to say, hey, I met this guy online. And then he said later on, he was all good. Later on, he mentioned that his business is not doing well.
Yeah.
Please borrow me money and everything. So as they are talking, I'm standing at home. My bedroom door goes out to the sitting room.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the TV from the door. And inside of me, I'm like, why is this story resonating with me so much? It can't be, because they're mentioning things like there are days when I did not have money for bread. And at the same time, I would make sure that I do everything I can to just give this guy money. And I'm like, but that
Yeah.
is so me. There
Yeah.
are times where I really forgot about me or let myself down just for him to be okay, and make sure that I will go out there to friends, to family, and ask for money. And I had those friends and family like, why are you asking money? This is so unlike you. Like, what is
Yeah.
happening with you? They were part of the group that would be then, not ignored, so that they don't speak these positive voices over me. So in that moment, I
Yeah.
picked up the phone and I was like, Ewen, you have been doing this. And he got very angry, you know what, and very upset. And in that moment, dropped the phone. That was the last time I heard of him and everything. And then I first called in my friend from church, whom I
Okay.
say has always been there as, hey, you know what? I called her, and you're calling her with that thing of, yo, I've so wronged her. I mean, she's the one person who's also been like, there's something suspicious about this guy. And then she talked to me, with support and love. She did not
Yeah.
reject me or say, yeah, I told you so. She did not. And so after that telephone call, I believe it did help in that moment for me not even do something stupid, because I believe at that moment, like I said, I would have even killed myself, waking up and realizing, yay, you've been scammed of almost 500,000 rand.
Yo.
Nobody can survive that without support from the Holy Spirit, from God, from friends, from family. Because remember, you're owing the
Yeah.
banks now, and it's interest upon interest, and the frenzy that you are owing in people. So after speaking to her, she's like, get in touch with your sister. Your sister still loves you, no
Yeah.
matter what, and tell her the truth from A to Z, because deep down she knows something is not right, and that's been haunting her for months and months.
Yeah.
Called my sister, and then she said, I'll see you the following day. And then she came through the following day. I was in all tears. And then I told her the truth as it is. And then she also helped me through, like getting my life together in terms of organizing my debts. First things like going to the banks and speaking to the banks and everything and all.
Yeah.
So she was also of great support and love, and I'm grateful for that one.